Hey friends, Jonathan Saenz here, president and attorney for Texas Values. This is take 3, by the way. You probably didn't see the take 1 and 2 that got all messed up. Third time's a charm. On the floor, exhibit hall for NRB 2025, the National Religious Broadcasters Convention. They say, and I believe them, it's the largest event of its type internationally. There are people here from all over the world, but the event's in Texas. So that's why I'm here. But don't worry, I got 3 members of our team at the Texas Capitol. We're making sure everything's working well over there. But I ran into a friend. I like to call her America's photographer, okay? Because if you look at some of the most important events, particularly in the last 2 years, Courtney Reed is there. And if you've seen some pictures of the Trump family, even J.D. Vance and others, this is her extraordinary work. She actually did work for us, or she did cover our event. She came for our policy forum event in September and had exceptional quality as a photographer. So Courtney Reed, welcome to this side of the camera.
Well, thank you, Jonathan, for having me. And that is the best part of these events. You run into so many familiar faces, and I mean, especially me with the photography. I remember everyone. But yeah, Jonathan's right. I have had the most incredible experiences traveling this country for the conservative movement with the Trump family, the Trump campaign, and all of the other greats that we love, like Vivek Ramaswamy, J.D. Vance, just name them all. And then here in Texas, Senator Ted Cruz. There's just so many great freedom fighters. And I have this incredible blessing to capture them through the lens, and God works through my lens. I most certainly came into this position in a very unique way.
Well, I want you to tell us about that, but not just yet. One of the most amazing pictures that you took was at RNC. I was a delegate, if people remember, I was a delegate at large from the state of Texas in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And you and I had met before because you had, I guess you had not worked our event, but I met you at a Republican Party of Texas convention. So I noticed you, and I'd seen some of your work, and that event was crazy. Trump was there. They tried to kill him a couple of days before, and he's there, and there's a picture. It's Trump, Vance. It's like 3 people. Trump, Vance, and was it Speaker Mike Johnson? I forget who the third one was, but go ahead.
Tucker Carlson.
Tucker Carlson. It was incredible, and I was like, wow. And you had it up within almost felt like minutes of taking the picture. It was extraordinary, and a lot of people take pictures these days with like nice cameras, and so to stand out, I think is a little bit more difficult, but you found a way. It's been incredible. So tell us the story, though, of how you got involved in photography.
Yes, so for me, it goes back to college. I did not major in photography at all. My whole family's in the medical field. I played tennis, so I'm an athlete. And I had to take one fine art course, and that is what opened my eyes to this other world. And I got my first camera after college. I love to travel, and I discovered a skill that I had no idea I had, and that's how God works. And President Obama, he was 8 years too long, and during that time, I was able to find a way to combine my photography with my love of country. And that's how this all came together. God puts you where you need to be, when you need to be there, and I'm just so grateful to be his hands and his eyes going around capturing all of this beautiful photography.
Well, and look, a lot of the events, the imagery, the backdrops, and so on, for the Trump family and people related to that crowd, if you will, in those groups, is faith, family, and freedom. You know, God bless America, heritage things, you know, just majestic backgrounds. Like all, I mean, if you look around the Washington, D.C. and all those places are just incredible. Being able to capture them in pictures in those moments is absolutely extraordinary. And I've never looked so good on camera than when you took pictures at our event last year. But it's a skill, it's a gift that you have that I'm glad you have it because, and you also, I think, embrace, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And the pictures are powerful. You know, videos have become so common, but pictures still have a very important place.
Yes, well, if you go to my Instagram, it's at Courtney Reed. I do a lot of social media posting. I take you with me on my travels around the country, and one of the most recent was the inauguration. Yes. That was just incredibly special moment. I mean, I've been involved in this movement since the beginning.
Were you inside were you inside the Capitol when he got sworn in?
Yes, I was in the rotunda. So for me to go from grassroots, seeing the way God led my path, all the way to the rotunda for President Trump's second inauguration with the family, it was the biggest blessing. So beautiful for our country, for the world, really. And CPAC brings that together as well, which we were just at that event. So follow my Instagram, because that is where you can see all the special photos that I know God is working through my lens. And like Jonathan said, like at the RNC, there's this really special picture where President Trump looks the most peaceful he ever has. You know, he knows God is also involved in this. So we're all working together, and Jonathan with Texas Values, it's just so beautiful. So follow along with all of us.
Well, and listen, Courtney is an independent contractor. I don't know right the way it would say it. She works at a lot of different events. The Trump family has her do a lot of photography as well. So maybe if you want to have her come to your event or do some special work, get in touch with her. We did at our event last year, and I told the team, I said, wait until you see some of the photographs. They're going to be absolutely extraordinary, because you want to focus on the work, but there are special moments that we want to capture, and those are important. Can we talk tennis for just a second? I'm a tennis player. I remember you telling me that when we met a year or two ago. Do you get to work in some time in tennis when you travel?
Great question. Well, photography, so I am carrying around at least 20 pounds of equipment here, and we walk really large venues, arenas, things like that. So I would say that the tennis has been tabled a little bit, but I need to schedule some time for that, some more time. Yeah. I would love it.
No, it had a little resting period for me as well, but now I'm actually teaching tennis lessons to some young kids in my neighborhood, and I have 2 kids in high school. One is going to try to play, and I moved to a neighborhood where they have tennis courts, and so I'm loving getting back into it. But it's tough when you travel and you're getting around. But I want to compliment you on your work, and really I think it makes people. I mean, look, I think through your work, they feel the experience. They experience what you're there, and I have to believe they have more hope in America through your work when they see the pictures you take. It's extraordinary.
Wow, thank you. That is an incredible compliment, and I just hope to continue on this journey. Someone recently asked me, what is your favorite photo? And I love that question. It took me a few days to process, and I came up with, it's the next photo that I'm going to take, or the photo I haven't taken yet. And that's because at this most recent event, when they asked me that question, the next day I took some photos of Elon Musk. It was my first time photographing him, and that was very exciting. And they came out so great that I was like, well, I didn't have those photos yesterday, so it's the next photo I'm going to take.
Well, and you never know just the most important places, incredible places. Courtney will be there that matter to America. America's photographer, Courtney Reed, has been our guest today on this special segment of the Texas Values Report.